crazy news. I have raw footage of Hawaii burning up. And when I say Hawaii, I mean Maui. Entire west side hillsides exploding with fire. Did you guys know that West Maui is the home of coffee farms? Almost 350,000 pounds a year. Also tons of citrus, pineapple, avocados, and coconut, and sun hemp, and a lot more. And some locals are questioning the cause of the fire, as there currently is a lot of question on the attack of our farm industry, our fuel industry. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys an update on this West Maui fire, some amazing photos and videos that we took, an update, how it's coming along, school closures, and also I'm gonna give you some other concerns and some insights that are happening now. More concerning information dealing with the food crisis, the farming situation, fuel shortages, and inflation. News you should know coming right up. Welcome back to all of our subscribers and thank you for watching. If you're brand new here with us, like news that affects you, prepping tips, emergency preparedness, how-tos weekly, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Okay, for starters, some of our subs are thinking, this guy was in about a foot of snow just yesterday. And also some of you guys may know I have a handful of businesses, one of them being in the wedding industry, wedding venue industry. And some of these businesses have me traveling around from time to time. So with that, I'm gonna have some up-to-date information from different locations, and I'll always be giving you guys great updates with news that could affect you. So like I said, we've got different people panicking, a lot of Europe panicking with the fear of upcoming food shortages, natural gas shortages, and a huge question of the farming industry being under attack. First, let's give you guys an update on this West Maui fire.
Long, 4 schools on Maui will be closed today as crews continue to battle a brush fire.
Christy Tamashiro joins us now live once again from one of the schools in Lahaina. Christy, good morning.
Good morning to you, Christine and Ross. That's right. We are right outside of Lahaina Luna High School. Like you said, one of the 4 schools the DOE will be closing today due to the fire. We'll get to that list shortly. But just moments ago, we saw lots of activity here. Maui Fire Department launching their choppers from the Lahaina Luna High School football field and over the valley area where they are doing water drops right now. Last night, they had several helicopters, choppers, making their way over the valley and doing those water drops. As of 8:20 last night, MFD reporting about 850 acres were burnt. We saw lots of viewer video come in overnight, just those bright orange flames really lighting up the night sky. And, again, the helicopters making those water drops right now.
So like I said, as we were traveling across West Maui, the entire hillside was on fire. We were like, what are we driving into? The entire sky was pink, illuminated from all of the flames. I was thinking, well, we're a little bit late for the sunset. Why does it look pink over there? It was the fire illuminating the sky. So let's get you guys a quick update on this fire before I get to the meat and potatoes of this video. Maui Now News reports swift moving fire in West Maui burns 1,200 acres, 40% contained, 4 school closures. As of this morning on November 9th, firefighter operations continue throughout the day today on West Maui fire. Air operations restarted at first light today with 4 helicopters conducting water drops as steep and tough terrain continue to pose a challenge. Firefighters on the ground are also continuing work to secure the fire perimeter in areas accessible to the firefighting vehicles. As of this morning, the fire now is considered 40% contained with an estimated 1,200 acres burned. Currently, there are no evacuations or road closures in place. County officials say that the emergency shelter that was established at the Lahaina Civic Center closed this morning. The Maui Emergency Management Agency remains partially activated. According to MEMA, there's no imminent threat to residents at this time and no mandatory evacuations. The agency continues to monitor the fire and will have a shelter on standby in case evacuations become necessary, according to the county press release. 4 schools remain closed: Lahaina Luna High, Lahaina Intermediate, Princess Nahaiana Elementary, King Kamehameha 3 Elementary, and King Kamehameha 3 Elementary. So like I said, there's a lot of question out there on what started this fire, as West Maui is home of a ton of farms, ton of citrus, coffee. A lot pertaining to the food industry could be at risk, as this fire started as a huge storm came in And we're talking about 70-mile-an-hour winds. The wind is still strong as we speak, as this fire burns right now. So I and some other emergency preparedness prepping channels have been reporting to you about tons of industry fires, explosions, fertilizer plants explosions, a natural gas crisis, and supply chain issue. The farming industry right now is up against a ton of walls. So with that, a question that you might have that we're gonna go over right now: how are all these food industry fires, fertilizer plant explosions, natural gas and fuel shortage, supply chain issues gonna affect us here in the US? Let's go over it. So like I said, major fires in the food industry are becoming more and more uncertain. In fact, there was one very close to where I'm at in central Washington that I did not report on, as many other channels did report on it, but that was a major fertilizer plant in Moses Lake, Washington. Fairly close to where we're at in central Washington. Huge, very well-known fertilizer plant gone. Did you know Europe is running on 25%? 25% capacity with fertilizer plants. So with America selling to the highest bidder, what do you think that's doing to our already suppressed supply? As you know, these plants run on natural gas, and natural gas is no longer available like it used to be. So not only are we supplying Europe along with other countries with natural gas, fuel, diesel during a diesel crisis and supposed diesel shortage, but much of our food, grain, fertilizers are also getting shipped out. And if you're asking why, the reason is money. Like I said, at the moment, it's all about the highest bidder. With Europe and other countries in complete panic mode, and our farmers having to pay 3 times as much for the same nitrogen they used to buy, brings me to how this is gonna affect America, how this is gonna affect you. With all of my reports I've given you on diesel shortages, fuel shortages, various food shortages, I have learned from our community that this varies from place to place. I'll put out a video on a diesel shortage. So many states will see this diesel shortage and other states will be like, there's no diesel shortage. I'll put out a specific food shortage. Empty shelves. Other states say, there's no empty shelves. We have an abundance of food. All at the same time of me physically seeing the shortage, the bare shelves, the empty shelves, and other folks in our community also reporting the bare shelves and empty shelves. The food shortages are real. So for these people that think I'm crazy, I looked into it, and it does. It varies from state to state. I've been trying to figure out, why is this? Is it because you're closer to a refinery? Is it because you're closer to a port? Are the grain shortages in one area but not in the other because they're closer to the source? Does it have to do with shipping costs? How far they have to travel? As we know from many reports, a lot of these truckers are saying that they're working to pay for fuel. So how are the shortages associated with location? If you guys have ideas, please put them down in the comments below. Or if you know something about this that I don't know, please share. Because to a lot of people, I'm putting out the truth in so many areas and other folks think I'm crazy. So furthermore, the biggest way that these food shortages, natural gas crises, diesel shortages, industry fires and supply chain issues, and selling off of all of our resources to the places that are struggling worse than us, all of that, the biggest way that it's gonna affect us here in the US is inflation, major inflation, hyperinflation. Did you know that we have went from a net importer of fertilizer to a net exporter of fertilizer, driving the price up to our farmers? They will not be able to afford it soon, as many of them already have thrown in the towel and sold off. And an unprecedented amount of crops and farmers will not fertilize their crops for next year's harvest. So let that sink in. May seem fine right now, but next year is going to be an entirely different story. We live in a country that is fast-paced. We only notice what's in front of us. A fast food country. You don't get your food within a few minutes of sitting in a line, you get upset. With that, a lot of people only recognize and take in what's around them, what's near, and what's happening in the very near future. All at the same time, a farmer's perspective is opposite. They're doing preparations for the following year, and those preparations aren't happening. So that's why we're recommending for people to have a handle on water. Have some water prepped up. That's right, be prepping some water. Have water stocked up or a way to purify water. People are prepping for SHTF. That's right, prepping for SHTF, prepping up food, putting food away, putting water away. A lot of people want to be prepped so they don't have to go to the store when things get crazy for a segment of time, because many economists are saying it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And we're hoping that it gets better from the worst. With that, they just might push it to the grindstone here in America before the control is taken of our exports. Like many have said here in our community, we have no shortages. We have what we need. We have plenty of what we need here in America. Not if we're exporting at all, as prices continue to climb. There's just not a lot of restrictions out there yet on greed and profiteering of selling off all of our exports. But it'll come when we hit rock bottom. What I mean by rock bottom is inflation is going to get insane. We won't be able to afford anything. People will go hungry, see empty shelves like we've never seen them before. Our industry professionals won't be able to afford anything because they'll be exporting it to other countries that are paying tenfold. It'll be at the point of America crumbling before we find out if it's going to take an uptick. So that's why we've always recommended put away some water, put away some food, put away your essentials that you need to live for a short term, so that you're ready for an SHTF moment, so you're ready for emergency preparedness. And like I always say, be ready and hope that you never have to use your preps. So with that, guys, as I know more, I'll give you guys more updates. Got some more prepping tips that I filmed back home that we'll be putting out later this week. Please share this information, like if you found it informative, and keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing, guys. We'll see you on the next one.